All right, today I'm not going to be talking about a get-rich-quick scheme, and I certainly do not have a course to sell, so let's just get that out of the way right away. What I'm going to show you today are ways that at any age you can get richer, and a lot of us, we just sometimes need a little extra money, right? And by the end of this video, you're going to have practices that you can put in place today. Well, first of all, let's put everything in perspective. Let's take an age of 95, and with today's medical things, probably 95 is still a good age for you, and take your age and subtract it from 95. Just see how many years you have left? You probably have over 30 years left to become richer and to go for dreams, that sort of thing. And so I want you to keep that in mind because it's not too late. Now, of course, I care about all of you, so please don't put more money into, an investment or a dream that you can't afford to lose, because there always is a risk with everything. But if we take Colonel Sanders, for an example, and he's the fellow that started up KFC, he used his disposable income from his pension, and he really believed in this secret recipe. What was it? 11 herbs and spices, right? And he just went around and he basically just sold the recipe to people. And there's no doubt that that guy became rich. I'm also kind of a good example of starting up something that I really dreamt about at an older age. And I love fashion. I love makeup. And I thought to myself, you know what? I know I'm in my 60s, but I think I'm going to start up a YouTube channel. And as most of you know, I have two channels, this one and the other one's called Loving Our Age. And I went and told my friends about it, I'm going to be a YouTuber. And a lot of them just said, oh, are you kind of crazy? Like, people who are YouTubers, they're in their 20s. Heather, you're in your 60s. And I listened to them, but I didn't think they were right. And so I went, well, who are they to squash my dreams? And I'm going to talk about naysayers a little later on. But I just decided, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I did. And today I have 128,000 subscribers on that channel. I got that silver plaque from YouTube. I got monetized like in no time, and it did make me richer. Now let's just say you don't have a franchisable recipe or you don't want to be a YouTuber. What could you do as a side hustle or a main hustle to help you have more money, basically? And so I asked Google. I asked Google what someone could do in their 50s or 60s or even 70s. And this is what Google said. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea before I get into this, because we are kicking back, right? And relaxing, and take some notes too. I think some of these things, especially this list, might really help you. All right. Google said you could be a consulting or coaching business and leveraging your experience and expertise. So what are you knowledgeable about? What did you do years ago? What did you excel at when you were younger? There's so many things that you might have expertise in, and that is one thing. Be a coach. All right, next, service-based business, such as house sitting, tutoring, home care, maybe even dog walking, if you're good with dogs, right? And those are the kind of things too that I found that in my neighborhood, and probably in most neighborhoods, there's a Facebook group. And you might say, like I do house sitting, and a lot of people who are older that live in your neighborhood, they might kind of like that. And I guess your spouse stays at your house and you go to the other house, but hey, it's a way to make extra money. That's a little bit more of a side hustle. All right, next, e-commerce and online ventures. Starting an online store or even being an affiliate salesperson for a company. And I am an affiliate salesperson for a company. I am an affiliate salesperson for Amazon. And I'll tell you, if there's something that you're interested in, you can just make up a website. It's really easy, you know, with GoDaddy or Shopify, all those, well, maybe not Shopify, but all different kinds of ways to do up a website. And you might just say, well, I really like bike riding, and I want to start up a little website, be an affiliate with Amazon, and sell all kinds of things that are great for people, maybe even older people, for riding a bike. You might put bike racks there. We have fold-up bikes, and they are incredible. We don't even need a bike rack, and we can go and ride our bikes everywhere. They're called Zizous, and I'm actually going to put them in the video description here because I just think they're fantastic. But when you do something like that, you get a small portion, but you do get a portion of the sales. And so there you go. Take something that you love, become an affiliate. It doesn't have to be Amazon. It could be, I don't know, for yoga mats or some other company. So there's a great idea there. All right, where are we now? Creative and crafty selling. Handmade goods such as Etsy. So if you are good, what did I write down here? If you have a passion to paint or knit or even create decorating ceramics, check out Etsy. And my daughter has gone on Etsy and I've bought a lot of her items. And just go on, it's ETSY. Check out what they have. And if there's something that you say, oh my gosh, you know, I really love knitting, or I love to, you know, do ceramics, or maybe you like to just have some t-shirts that have motivational messages on them. That's a little online business. And thank you very much, Google. Those were some great ideas. Let's move on to the next idea. Of course, the best idea is your idea. Think of something maybe you're passionate about, something where, you know, even if you're working at it, it doesn't feel like you're working. Maybe you are an artist and you have an area in your home where you could set up easels and have people have painting parties. They're a lot of fun, even if they're just doing sunsets. You know, they really are a lot of fun. Maybe you were a great pianist. You were so good at the piano. And now, you know, it's just kind of going to waste, but you could start teaching piano lessons. Another thing is, I know so many people who know more than one language, and maybe their original language, they hardly use it anymore. Well, maybe you could be a tutor and help people learn how to speak English who speak another language. I mean, there's so many things. And I'll tell you something, the things that are like this channel, I love this channel. I love my other one too, but I love this channel because it's inspirational. It's something that's been sort of sleeping inside me for a long, long time. And I just love doing it. Right now, it's about 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's really warm outside, and you think I would be out there enjoying it, but I'm here. I love what I do. I don't want to miss another week, and so I'm just doing what I love. Find that in its absolute magic. And let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. And I'd also love to know what your goals and dreams are. And let's share it with each other. And let's cheer each other on. All right. Now, maybe you're not the self-employed type. Maybe you're at a job right now and it's just not fulfilling, or maybe you're just bored and you want to find something else. Well, if you're going to jump around from one job to another, I can tell you that the grass is not always greener on the other side. And I know a few people who have done this, and they just found out that the other job was still the same old, same old. So if you are passionate about something, maybe start it as a side hustle and you know, keep your other job going. And then if you find, wow, I really love this, I'm not bored at all, this is great, have about 6 months of expenses so that you've got that tucked away. And who knows, maybe the job that you're looking for is the job that you create yourself. And don't forget to stay until the end of this video, where I'm going to have a great quote for you, and it's all about going for your dreams. All right, let's just say that you are retired. Now, don't skip over this part because it's kind of important. You're retired, you're bored, and you want to get another job. Well, I call this rehirement. And I've got a great story for you. I met a woman just a few days ago, actually, and she was 86 years old, and she just got herself a new job. What? As luck would have it, I met this woman at a movie premiere. You might have seen it on my Instagram posts. We get invited to movie premieres, being these social media people. But anyway, she was sitting just, pretty well next to us. And I struck up a conversation with her and her friend. And I commented, oh my gosh, I like what you're wearing. And you've got beautiful skin. And she piped up and she said, well, I'm 86 years old. And I went, wow, you look great. And then she said, and I just got a job. I sort of looked at the other woman and she nodded, because I was thinking to myself, 86, just got a job? And she nodded. And I said, wow. I said, what kind of job did you get? And she said, oh, I have become a curator for a museum. And I thought to myself, 86 years old. Like, can you imagine how that job interview went? Like, there must have been a room with, 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds. And no, she's not letting her age stop her. She goes in, she applies for the job. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how long was her resume? Like, she's 86. She probably had 5 pages of a resume. But she got the job. And you know what? I could have just Googled this and found some examples of older people, finding a job. But there she was, a gift, right sitting beside me. And it's just amazing. And if she can do it, hey, there's no age limit on this at all. I touched on this earlier about ignoring the naysayers. Like, as I mentioned to you, I was so excited. I told a lot of my friends and family that I was going to be a YouTuber. And I don't know what it is, but they were like, oh, it's a bad idea. And I'm not too sure if people just want you to stay the same, or whether there's even maybe a little bit of jealousy there, that what if she's successful? Or maybe they're thinking, well, if she's successful, she's not going to like me anymore. Or I don't know what it is. But I also wrote a book, and it is called Awesome Over 50, and it's available on Amazon. Shameless self-promotion. But anyway, I wrote the book, and I was so proud of it. And it sold a lot. It still is selling a lot of copies. But, I told no one. I told no one, because I thought to myself, no, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to listen to the naysayers. And if you've got a book inside you, get a bunch of pads of paper or white out, get a lot of gel pens, and start writing. Just go for it and tell no one. And if someone is starting their own business or writing a book, cheer them on. I just find that on this aging journey, there still are a lot of people, that are jealous or have judgment. And I'm saying, you know what? Let's be for each other. Let's support each other. Maybe not with money, right? But let's support each other and be their best cheerleaders. My next tip is to see yourself in a rocking chair at 95 years old. They've done studies with people in their 90s, and what they found is that their regrets were not what they did, but what they never got around to doing. So let's not be one of those statistics. Now, I'm not finished with this chat, but I do have that quote for you. And the quote is this: "The flowers in our garden do not bloom at the same time." So it just shows you can start anything. You can plant a seed at any age and then go ahead and start blooming. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't have the confidence to do this. Well, at the end screen of this video, you'll see kind of a yellow screen pop up. I'm going to put a video up for you, and it's all about getting back your confidence, building your confidence, and I have 5 practices that you can start today. So let's take care of that issue. Now, whatever it is, you can start your dream today. You know, as I mentioned to you before, for years I've had this inspirational channel in mind, and I just started it a few weeks ago, and already it's growing, and I'm so happy that you're here. And you know, if you do want to be a subscriber, on the end screen you're going to see a little place where you can subscribe. But yeah, we're building a community, so it's just absolutely beautiful, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. And until we meet again, think about your age and think about how many years you have left. You know, you do have time. It's not too late. Go for your dreams. Go for something that you're passionate about, and even something that you feel like you have a purpose to do. And I'll tell you something, you're going to be so happy. You will be richer, not only in money, but in all different other things as well. And of course, I'll be there and also many other people cheering you on. Take care, and I'll see you next week.